I'll let you go first. I know you have some questions, so.
I don't have any questions. I do have quite a bit of comments to make. So first of all, let me thank staff and thank the public for all the input, and thank you, staff, for everything that you've done for the comp plan. I expressed concern at the last meeting about the future land use map changes that are being implemented through this comp plan. Currently, out in the westward expansion area, which will end up being about 20,000 acres if the landowner is able to annex in about 9,000 acres from county ag that it's intending to annex in. Currently, the two pieces of property that they already own are zoned or are designated as DRI. So there's current development orders already in place for those two pieces of land. In the future land use map, we are changing that to this new land use category that we've created through the comp plan called the master plan mixed use. The intent by the developer, by the landowner, is to then change these DRIs, get rid of them, and come to us with a proposed MPD. My concern is accepting the future land use without seeing what they're getting rid of in the current DRIs and what the new MPDs are proposing. So what I did is I went and I looked at 250 pages worth of the current DRI to see what exactly are they getting rid of, because I don't know, because I didn't read it. And I was floored at what I read. I was disgusted. I was truly sick to my stomach, because it has come to my attention that a lot of the infrastructure that the current multi-billion-dollar landowner was supposed to put in for us, taxpayers are paying for. And they are paying for it in the form of state appropriations. Let me be more clear. On page 42 of the Neoga Lakes DRI, which is one of the DRIs out there, it says Palm Coast Parkway Extension. Not later than the issuance of building permits which generate 1,400 external PM peak hour trips within the DRI, the developer shall cause to be constructed and dedicated to the city an extension of Palm Coast Parkway from US 1 to Hargrove Grade Road. This is to be called the Palm Coast Parkway Extension. And it goes into detail as to what exactly that road has to look like. It says this improvement shall include an above-grade overpass at the intersection of the FEC Railroad and a new mast arm signal at the intersection of US 1 and the Palm Coast Parkway Extension. It then goes on to further explain what exactly is going to be required for Palm Coast Extension. This is the loop road. We got $105 million in state appropriations, also known as tax dollars, to pay for something that in a previous DRI that was entered into in 2010, a private multi-billion-dollar company should have been paying for. If we go on to page 44, it says Palm Coast Parkway Extension Phase 2, not later than the issuance of building permits which generate 4,754 external PM peak hour trips within the DRI, the developer shall cause to be constructed and dedicated to the city a further extension of the Palm Coast Parkway from the project entrance at Hargrove Grave Lane to the DRI Village Center. And then it goes on to provide specifics. This goes on and on and on about improvements on US 1. It affects improvements that are required in the city of Bunnell, County Road 13 for the county, all kinds of requirements. What really just put the icing on the cake for me, if we go to page 61, recreation and open space, no later than 2 years from issuance of the first residential building permit within the DRI, the developer shall commence construction of a public park of up to 29 upland acres, generally located in the area depicted on a map that it describes. And it says that the improvements to be constructed or caused to be constructed by the developer within the public park shall include, but not be limited to, a junior Olympic swimming pool, including changing rooms and restrooms, a playground, and playfields. Here we are jumping through hoops to try to get a charter amendment passed in order to enter into a public-private partnership for a lease on a sports complex that I think we should look into because of the tourism dollars that can come from it. when all along this developer, this landowner is supposed to be paying for it. I am disturbed by this. This is corporate greed at its worst, and it has fallen on the backs of the taxpayer. And I will not stand for it. I am a staunch Republican, and this is not what our policies stand for. So, here's what I will state to staff, to the developer, to those representing the developer. You better figure out how you're going to fix this. When you come back to me, I don't expect a $105 million check to the residents of Florida, but I do expect quite a bit in infrastructure improvements. I expect to know what conservation is going to be set aside, what recreation is going to be set aside, what infrastructure we will get out of this. Because this is a 20,000 acre swath of land that is the future of our city. And this developer that is going to conduct silviculture on it until they decide to build will make plenty of money. I need to know what they're going to do for our residents. So, I don't want to hold up the comp plan because I respect too much the work that you all have done. I respect too much the hours that have been put into this up here and back there. I respect too much what the residents have done to provide their 85,000 comments or whatever it was. I respect this process too much to put off the entire comp plan transmittal. What I will say is, when it comes back from the state, before I even contemplate voting on abandoning those DRIs and accepting an MPD, I want to see exactly what the landowner is going to do. I want to know their plans. I want to know what this is being replaced with. I want to know what these DRIs are being replaced with. I want specifics. I want maps. I don't want to see, oh, well, it can all be mixed use throughout this 20,000 acres. That is not sufficient. Where are industrial parks? Because in the DRIs, there are requirements for industrial parks. In the DRI, there's requirements that certain workforce housing be constructed prior to the rest of the housing. All of the things that we've said are so important to all of us up here, they're in the current DRIs. When I ask the landowner, why do you guys want to abandon these? And they tell me, oh, well, they're not workable. Of course they're not workable for you. They're workable for us. And I don't work for the developer, I work for the residents. So, I don't want to call it a warning, but my advisement is this. I want to transmit to the state because I think this is an overall good comp plan. But please, please, hold them accountable. Our job as city council and your job as staff is to hold them accountable to this because this is the future of our city. So as we look at, and I am asking my council, trust me, reading these on my Saturday on the holiday weekend was worse than watching paint dry, okay? But please, please, please take some time and look at these. And let's make sure that the new MPDs, the new development orders that come before us, measure up to what we are supposed to be getting out of these DRIs.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Ditto.
Okay,
I
very
don't know
good.
how else to say it, but